kitchen. Oh, never mind if I start choking again, you know what I mean. Okay, we've moved inside because it's getting very windy outside and a little bit cool. It's the autumn season here, which started on the first day of March, and it's a beautiful season, but today's just a little bit windy. Now, I'm going to finish up this. What I'll do is I'll put this entire document on the strawmanburneth.com website so that you can reread it for yourself. I just felt it was something, I think why I felt it was so important after doing the Ken Van Duren interview last week and accessing the radio station that broadcasts that. It's all about the patriot movement, freedom fighters, and restoring the Constitution of the United States and all kinds of things. And when I read this, it just became so apparent to me that the whole thing is a fraud. It's another rabbit hole, another part of the matrix that Funkel you saw right through. And it's what I've said all along. God takes over. He ascends to the throne, sorts it all out as far as paperwork and remedy, all kinds of things go. He's not one for keeping records at all. That's your yes for yes and your no for no. There was, you can read, he goes, he talks about the law, the criminal code, and that all of the people that are sitting in American jails are in a debtor's prison, of course we know, because of the bond. He talks about the Iron Curtain falling. Oh yes, there's a paragraph here. Oh, no, this is the part I wanted to read to you. The Internal Revenue Code relies on Title 18 to convict people of tax evasion, which only applies to corporations. Okay, now you know why you're a corporation. Look at all the people sitting in federal prisons who are convicted of this so-called crime, that's tax evasion. What makes it worse, this is really interesting, is the fact that the Queen of England entered into a treaty with the federal government for the taxing of alcoholic beverages and cigarettes sold in America. The treaty is called the Stamp Act, and in this act the Queen ordained that her subjects, the American people, are exonerated of all other federal taxes. So the federal income tax and the state income taxes levied against all Americans is contrary to an international treaty and against the sovereign orders of the Queen. Like it or not, the Queen is our monarch and master. The tax is illegal, and still people have been prosecuted and imprisoned contrary to law. So, honey, Lizzie's got to get off her throne.
I did leave her a message in the court when I was, you recall what I said?
Yes, tell the judge to tell Regina to get her vagina off my throne. Okay, for any Australians who might be watching these vids, the Governor-General, Quentin Bryce, my sister's best bud, has all of the evidence that the Christ is returned in her hands. It was placed in her hands on the 18th of August 2009, and she sent me a letter thanking me for it, so we know that she has got it. And in the letter that I accompanied with the evidence that the Christ is returned, the throne of England is the throne of David, which of course belongs to the Christ upon his return. Elizabeth knows that. She was educated by her father to hand up, should the Christ show up, hand over the throne. So, the evidence has been placed in the hands of the Governor-General, Australia's representative to the Queen, and she had a duty, she's also a lawyer, she had a duty to take that evidence to the Queen. Now, it's fairly obvious that she hasn't done anything about it, or perhaps we Perhaps things have been done that we don't know about. We doubt it. Because it will, in fact, I believe, take a demand of the people to know that he's here. He's the only one who can sort out the mess that the world is in. No matter, where the nations are or what they're going through, God is the only one who can sort out this mess. So my admonition is that people rise up and demand that the devil vacate the throne of David. It's his. And he wants it. Overturn the devil. All right, now, going down to another paragraph before I stop reading. And we Americans are so proud of the fact that we live in a democracy. Now look up the word democracy in a reputable law dictionary and see the legal meaning. Democracy is defined as a socialist form of government and another form of communism. Do you remember the lies that President Reagan told the Congress? Oh, no, he's saying, do you remember the lies that President Reagan, the Congress and the media told America? The lie was that the Iron Curtain fell without a shot being fired. The truth is that the Iron Curtain came down because communist Europe found an ally in the West and there were no longer needs for walls. P.S. Your federal taxes constructed the world's largest automated vehicle and munitions plant for the Soviet Union during the dismantling of the Berlin Wall. P.P.S. The attempt to assassinate President Reagan occurred because he had disclosed to the American people that none of the federal income tax paid by the American people is ever deposited into the United States Treasury and is being deposited into the Federal Reserve Bank for its use and benefit. Shortly after making that statement, Reagan was shot by John Hinckley, who was quickly declared insane so that there never would be a public trial. If you recall, President Reagan was never the same after that incident. The masters don't play around, they eliminate problems or radically kill.
Why haven't they come and killed me?
Oh, honey, because they know they can't. They've tried, 5 times at least?
Yeah.
They've failed. They get somebody else, poor dudes. Well, I'd have to say poor evil dudes because there's no protection for those that are evil. And they know they can't kill you. And so the challenge is, from you has always been, give it your best shot. Here I am, come and get me. God needs to ascend to his throne.
The best one was in Port Alberni, Canada, when I lived on Sprout Lake. I gave them the latitude and longitude of the deepest part of the lake and left a boat and rope and some cinder blocks for the body to take it out, and a little outboard motor, a little electric outboard motor for the environment, so they can go out there and dump the body.
Okay.
Never showed up. Fired a few shots into the house, that's all.
Oh, really? What happened to the shots?
It was a 38 revolver of some sort.
Right.
It was 3 shots one night. I had made that challenge to the Israelis in Ottawa, and this particular night it was quite dark, and I got out and there was 3 shots fired, hit the house, and I walked outside, got in my Pontiac Firebird, opened the door with the lights on and played Johnny Mathis until the 12th of Never. You'd hear all these footsteps scurrying in the bush behind me.
And of course, at the time they gave you they insisted that you have salmon for dinner.
Oh yeah, that was a later time. That's after they put me in the Forensic Institute for 40 days.
Yeah, that was funny.
And then they came with the this particular Jewish man that was Doc Hanson, that he had sent to kill me. And they had set it all up so I'd get him red salmon for his supper. And I opened it in a small trailer caravan type thing, and he shot through to the showers because it was going to fill the place with gas, cyanide gas. So inside the salmon, I'm rooting through it, and there's these vials, little glass vials of cyanide, and I'm just chewing on those, right? It did burn my mouth though.
Yeah.
Ran down the side of my chin.
Okay.
When he came back, he sort of peered in and he couldn't believe his eyes I was still alive, and he walked in, he said, "You're Christ." After the smell had cleared. He left the door open, of course.
Oh, and your response was?
Huh?
Your response was?
Who the fuck do you think I am?
Exactly what I've been telling you.